YouTube, Niner Empire, what is going down? Welcome back to another video. So, as the 49ers wrapped up mandatory minicamp, it's Kyle Shanahan cut it a day short. Trey Lance is staying in the Bay Area and practicing an extra week while the rest of the guys go home and prepare for July and August and into September. Trey Lance is deciding to stay an extra week of practice. Obviously, with Kyle Shanahan canceling, the last day of mandatory minicamp, it's no surprise. He's did this multiple times in the past. I believe he's did it almost every year since being the 49ers head coach. But basically, he went on the limb and said that, he feels as if 9 of those practice days or mandatory minicamp days are OTAs, and 3 of those are practices. And he basically said that he felt as if he has seen enough from the players and whatnot. Like I said, I mean, this comes as expected. Kyle's always been notorious for not going the full 12 days and canceling that last day. But this is being reported by Jennifer Lee Chan of NBC Sports Bay Area that Trey will be at the team's facility to get him some more work before taking a break ahead of camp. Obviously, the work will continue Lance's process of preparing to be the 49ers starter for the future. And like I said, I think this is a very, very good look for him. Now, he's not going to be the only player staying. The team's 2022 draft class and a handful of other players are also expected to stay in the Bay Area for the extra week of practice. Now, as for Deebo Samuel, he's not one of those guys. He took part in limited work at minicamp while still pushing for that contract extension. I definitely think for the 49ers, getting Trey Lance and Deebo on the same page will be a key part of the training camp checklist for the 49ers. Trey Lance has openly said that he feels as if it's not going to affect their chemistry or their building chemistry whatsoever, and I don't think it will either. I think Deebo will have instant chemistry with Trey Lance. I don't think it's one of those things where they're going to have to practice together and do this and do that with each other in order to be comfortable going into next season. I mean, Trey Lance and Deebo are on the same page in Trey Lance's first 2 starts, so I definitely don't think that's going to be any sort of issue. Obviously, I think, with him doing this, it may not seem like a lot from him, but an additional week of work with his teammates at the facility could prove obviously invaluable for Lance, who could use all the reps he can possibly get. And he said it multiple times, I will be ready for week 1, and I think that he's doing everything in his power to be ready for week 1. So, interesting stuff. D'Amico Ryans obviously also said today, Trey has done a great job. It's good to see him just coming into his own role as a leader and being able to take control of the team. We are fired up for Trey and what he can do for us. He also said that it's very, very hard for the 49ers defense to basically play against Trey Lance because his accuracy has been on the money. His deep balls have been nothing short of good. And, D'Amico basically said he's getting better, better and better each day. So, very, very good stuff to hear for Trey Lance. But as far as him remaining in Santa Clara for some extra work for the next week, that is something a leader does. And I'm not saying that Jimmy G wouldn't do that, but I definitely think there would be a lower chance if Jimmy G still, say Jimmy G was healthy or whatnot and he was still on the roster. I don't really think that would be something that Jimmy G would do just because he's been on the team for some time. But you can obviously tell it means a lot for Trey Lance to get on the same page as a lot of these guys on the team and really the offense all in all. And he understands that he needs reps, and that's really exactly what he's doing, getting more reps with the team. Like I said, he's not going to be the only one there. There's going to be the 2022 draft class and a handful of other players. So we'll see how it works out. I'm hoping that nobody gets injured in some freak accident or whatever, but definitely good news and a good look for Trey Lance as he's staying another week just to practice. And like I said, for Shanahan cutting off the last day of practice, that is no surprise. He did that last year. He did it the year before. Kyle's you know, he's different than majority of the other coaches when it comes to training camp and mandatory mini camp and all that stuff. He don't want to overwork the players, and when he has seen enough, he ends it. And like I said, I'm assuming that's exactly why he didn't, or it was actually reported that that's why he did not have the team practice for an extra day. So I love it. Trey Lance doing whatever he can to get more reps, get comfortable with his teammates, and I think that's exactly what needs to happen in order for the 49ers to be on, mesh with Trey Lance instantly. And I think that's what he's trying to do, is make it to where, he obviously knows he's going to be taking over, and it's good to know that he genuinely cares about it. It's not that big of a deal, right, for him staying another week. It's almost, I feel like it would almost be expected for Trey Lance to do that. It's almost like Kyle in the front office and the coaching staff kind of expected this from him. But maybe not. I could be wrong. But Trey's just trying to get better, and that's really all you can ask for as a fan from the outside. So it'll be exciting to see what he can do and see what he has turned into come week one. But yeah, Lance and a handful of other players, including the 2022 draft class, are staying an extra week in Santa Clara to practice, to get reps in.